Well, good morning and welcome to the next of the series of these videos I'm doing regarding Title 24s and energy compliance. Today I want to talk about legalizations and Hers verification. Starting with Hers, as regular clients will know, I tend to side away from Hers verification on Title 24s. I always believe that instead of paying someone to check the work has been done properly, I'd sooner employ decent contractors and spend that money on better equipment. I realise that the average duct tester won't thank me for saying that, but it's just what the way I believe it should be. If there are contractors out there who can't be trusted to do their work, perhaps we shouldn't be employing them. That said, I know there are a number of drafters and architects who prefer to go down the duct testing route. If for no other reason, they get good rates from their duct test people. They probably get some sort of commission from the work. And I suppose what I'm saying here is, if you prefer me to call duct testing when I do a Title 24 for you, just let me know and we can work it in. We'll use a little less insulation somewhere, or do something else and allow us to use the duct testing. Duct testing does have one or two advantages. I did a large project recently for which included electric resistance heating and a separate air conditioner. As there again, as many clients will know, electric resistance heating is pretty much a no-no for Title 24 compliance. But I did make it pass using duct testing and one or two other measures. And this particular client particularly wanted to use the electric resistance heating, presumably there was no gas. That's all I need to say on that. Just to reiterate, if you want me to use Hers duct testing, just let me know. And if I don't get a particular notification from you, I'll continue down the route I'm doing, and we'll stick with using better equipment and preferred contractors. The other thing I want to talk about today was legalizations. I am now pretty much convinced that there are building inspectors across the state either walking the streets or probably more likely looking at Google Street View, looking for additions and changes of use that have not been permitted. It's particularly common in San Francisco, but now I've had lots of jobs from the Sacramento area and from further south, the LA area, where garages, in particular garages, have been converted to living space and no permits have been obtained, and at that point we have to retroactive permit set up and Title 24. These are quite difficult to do sometimes. The garage is built, the windows are installed, the roof is on. Typically here in the Central Valley you're going to need a radiant barrier in the roof to make it pass, and to install a radiant barrier when the building's built is a big undertaking. There are no easy answers to this. If it won't pass without one, it won't pass, and there's not a whole lot we can do other than strip the roof off. But even if it will pass without a radiant barrier, you've still got the problem that the windows probably aren't low E, and the walls may or may not have enough insulation. Generally speaking, a garage conversion is going to be a slab floor, but not even that's the case sometimes, because the garage floor is lower, and a secondary wood floor has been installed over the top of it. That presents another problem because there's no insulation under there, and digging the floor up just to install the insulation is major work. What I'm saying here is, when you get one of these jobs, don't think it's a case of a quick drawing and a Title 24 and off down the building department. The work involved in making it pass will be considerable. It's very often easy to knock the thing down and start again if it's a few years old, rather than try and retrofit all the new compliance stuff. The windows are easy to swap out, of course. The radiant barrier roof is nearly impossible, and if the walls physically aren't big enough to accommodate R13 or even R19, that's a huge problem. You're studding the walls out on the inside, and then you have the heat problem. Many of these conversions have not been properly heated. They've put an electric heater in the corner somewhere just to make it usable. But as we've just mentioned, electric resistance heating is no good really for Title 24. So at that point you're trying to extend the ducts off the central system, or fit one of those little mini Fujitsu type heat pumps, or something else equally imaginative just to get some heating and cooling in there. San Francisco, the cooling isn't an issue, but here in the Central Valley you've got to have cooling, especially with the lack of insulation many of these buildings have got. That's pretty much all I want to talk about today. I want to thank you for your continued business. I've noticed that over recent weeks, probably the last 6 or 8 weeks, the level of plans coming through has increased, but only in certain areas. Sacramento seems to be doing quite well, and south of Los Angeles, the San Diego area, there's quite a bit of work coming from there. The rest of the state's been pretty much as it has been for the last 6, 12, 18 months perhaps. There's a bit of commercial work coming through right from the city of San Francisco. There's money being spent there. I suppose what I'm saying is, if you're a drafter looking at this and you're looking for work, they're the areas that you need to sort of advertise and apply yourself to. If you're here in the Central Valley, in my experience, there isn't actually that much going on, but maybe it's just the work that's coming to me. Thank you very much for watching.